Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. Oh my gosh, listen, you have got to listen to this video. Um, Rule of law, the law, the law isn't always right. I'm sorry, it is not always right. There are flaws, in my opinion, in the law. This is ridiculous to me. So listen to what this couple has to say about Rick Chow's reportedly his prior history. So obviously, him pulling out a weapon, pulling out a gun on customers or potential alleged shoplifters is nothing new. He has reportedly allegedly shot two other people. However, due to the propensity evidence law, he was not. I'm sorry, propensity law. It was not permitted to be used. This blows my mind. It was not permitted to be used based on the propensity law when it comes to evidence. So listen to this. Oh my gosh, this guy must think he's on Gunsmoke or something. Check this out.
History of shooting at other suspected shoplifters? And if so, why was that not talked about at his murder trial?
So we already made a video about store owner Rick Chow being found not guilty in the shooting death of this 14-year-old boy. The jury ultimately ruled that it was self-defense. But reports say that Chow has shot other people before, including firing 6 times at a car of a woman who stole from his store, and another instance where he actually shot another shoplifter in the leg. In both cases, Chow claims self-defense and he was never actually charged.
But why weren't these details included in his trial for murder of, again, shooting a suspected shoplifter? Seems pretty relevant. Shouldn't the jury have known about this?
The rules of evidence say no. The general rule under U.S. law is that you can't introduce evidence that someone acted badly in the past to prove that they acted badly this time. This is called propensity evidence, and it's a no-no.
The classic example is someone who's on trial for armed robbery. 5 years ago, they were convicted of a different armed robbery. The prosecution cannot introduce evidence of that past robbery to say he robbed before, so he clearly did it again. The legal system doesn't want the jury to be biased by these past actions. It wants them to only focus on the proof of this current case.
So in the Chow case, prosecutors weren't allowed to introduce evidence of these prior shootings to show that he had a propensity for shooting suspected shoplifters.
Now, as any law student knows, the rules of evidence are notoriously nuanced and confusing, and there are exceptions. But a lot of people don't know that this ban on propensity evidence is the general rule.
Wow. But see, here's my problem. I've noticed when it comes to my community, I've seen and heard of trials where they bring up, and didn't you do this last time in 1975? And oh, this ain't the first time. You got to be kidding me. So it sounds like to me it's selective.
Did Rick Chow have a history of shooting at other suspected shoplifters? And if so, why was that not?
So wait a second. So it's making me think he's already killed a teen and he shot at 2 other shoplifters. So let me guess, if he were to shoot somebody else due to the propensity evidence, we can't bring up how he's already shot 2 other shoplifters and killed Cyrus. What kind of law is that? You have got to be kidding me. This is really, really, really unbelievable.
And if so, why was that not talked about at his murder trial?
So we already made a video about store owner Rick Chow being found not guilty in the shooting death of this 14-year-old boy. The jury
found not guilty. This right here, I don't think this propensity evidence relates to everybody. It's just like what I consider selective prosecution, because I've heard of too many cases where they bring up priors.
Ultimately ruled that it was self-defense. But reports say that Chow has shot other people before, including firing 6 times.
So self-defense, how in the heck? This right here is just racial bias, in my opinion. Let it be a white child, again, running from them. He wasn't running to them. The child was running from, and they chased him. So it's self-defense. Reminds me of Jonathan Majors and that lady Jabari, the girlfriend, when they had it out in the vehicle, and then the next thing you know, he was running in those church shoes, as they say, or civil rights shoes, whatever, and she was chasing him. How can the one that's chasing a person, how can it be self-defense? More than likely, it would be self-defense, the one that's running, not the one being chased. So here it says, on May 4, 2015, Chow confronted a woman who grabbed 2 cases of Bud Light and a package of boiled peanuts and then left without paying. According to a redacted incident report, the 2 struggled outside the store, and the woman threatened to shoot the store owner. Chow then took hold of the beer and the woman's purse which contained the peanuts. The woman got into her vehicle to leave. Chow pulled out a 45 caliber Glock and fired approximately 6 times at the passenger window. No one was injured in the incident, the report says. So this is not his first time. She got into the vehicle and he fired 6 shots. Wow.
In a car of a woman who stole from his store, and another instance where he actually shot another shoplifter.
This one says Chow also shot a shoplifter on October 12, 2018, officials said. The shoplifter had taken $6.49 can of oven cleaner and hid it in his clothes, according to the incident report. The shoplifter assaulted Chow after the gas station owner confronted him. Chow then fired at the man twice, striking him in the leg. The shoplifter later pleaded guilty to the charges stemming from the incident. Now that right there, they have an altercation. But 6 shots, the woman drops into the vehicle. 6 shots. It looks like he really enjoys using that gun. 6 shots into the vehicle over the beer, a 6-pack of beer and the peanuts. Am I saying it's okay to commit theft? Hell no. But you're not in safety. Let that be my community and reverse the roles and see what will happen. So this here, he's able to do this twice. Now it's a fatality. Wow. He has shot at people before. I think the boycott is necessary, is my opinion, because then it sets a precedent. The fact they can get a not guilty verdict, I think it sets a precedent that when you go in some of these places, you could be potentially taking your lives into your hand. So if they think you moved on, they can go ahead and shoot you and get off and use that case as precedent. Well, in the other case, the shoplifter, Rick Chow, he got off. Oh, okay. Seriously. Buy online. Buy someone that may be part of your own community. This right here, I'm telling you, this sets a dangerous precedent. I think you should be tried again. This is crazy. So this is not the first time he's pulled out his gun. We've had 2 shootings and now we have a fatality. And don't forget, the woman that was in the vehicle that's allegedly, I guess she's taken the beer and the peanuts, she had hopped into her vehicle and he put in 6 shots into that door. Do you not see an escalation? Then he gets into it with this man over some oven cleaner and shoots this man. They have a confrontation in the leg. That could be self-defense. But look how it's escalated. Shooting at, now we have a fatality. Anybody else that goes into one of these stores and unless it's like you're bleeding and that's the only place to get a Band-Aid to stop you from bleeding out, an emergency, and something happens, I have to look at you and just wonder, why would you put yourself, seriously, given this right here, I think it sets a very dangerous precedent. Given this right here, you're taking your life in your hands. Sending your children in, you're taking your life in your hands. Wow. So this is not the first time that he has shot at people who he deems as shoplifters, whether they're getting away or not. Again, the kid, they said they thought it was stealing. Then they said reports the kid wasn't stealing. Chased him down. So he fired a fatal bullet. Oh, he definitely did this time with Cyrus. And he also fired the fatal bullet into their economy. This is an abusive relationship that I see between the Black community and the Asian store owners. You may have a few, you say not, it's too many stories out there. I see this as an abusive relationship. What fool is paying to be abused? I'm just saying. Paying for the abuse. Paying to be abused. Taking your life. They could say, oh, I thought he stole something. Well, she moved. I thought she stole something when she was going to steal, and just take the gun out and pop you. And don't be surprised you get not guilty verdict. So yeah, Rick Chow, this is not the first time. I would just like to know the ethnicities. I would like to know of the patrons that he shot at prior. That I'd like to know. Anyway, this right here is truly worth mentioning. It's not the first time this man has behaved that way. Let me know what y'all think. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share them out.